welcome to Malkier Talks. It's my first live stream of season 2, if you don't count Monday, when I did some book cover reviews. Hello, how we doing? It's been a while. It's good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome if it's your first time and you like Star Trek. I'm in. This is Wheel of Time in Star Trek. It's the Wheel of Trek. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before I introduce my fabulous guests for this evening, including a new face that you've never seen before, I've got to promo a couple of things. So firstly, next weekend we're having a bit of fun. We have the Whatcastathon is happening. Yes, folks, it happened last year. It's happening this year again. A little bit later this year, thanks to Jordan Con, but it's going to be a blast. Next Saturday on the 21st, you can come join us. We are raising money for Save the Children. Hopefully we smashed last year's, what was it, like $8,000 we made or something like that last year, $8,000. So hopefully we smashed that. I would particularly love it if you came at 2 a.m. Eastern to join me, because I have a 2-hour slot. I am being joined by Master of the Deck, Kev and Anna, and the four of us will be doing some excessive shipping, and we will need lots of your help. So come and join us from 2 to 4 a.m. Next Saturday. That's Eastern. That is 7 to 9 a.m. if in the UK, 8 to 10 in Germany for Anna, and I think Kev is like 2:30 in the afternoon to 4:30, something of that sort of nature. But yeah, come and join us. It's going to be an absolute blast. And then for those of you not familiar, I host a show on the Way of the Leaf channel once a month, and that is called Watchinary. It's a Wheel of Time version of Pictionary. Next Sunday the first Sunday of September, which I believe is the 5th of September, if my memory serves. Let me look at the calendar. Yes, the 5th of September. Come and join us then, because it is the finale of season 1, and we're making it extra special because we have 2 members of Team Jordan joining us. Yes, we have Maria and Alan joining us on as guests. Like, seriously, this is going to be epic. I need some incredible prompts from you, so come and send me some prompts of things from Wheel of Time that they can guess, that our captains can draw, and just, yeah, there's so much on the line. The captains, it's there in the championship, who's going to win the overall points balance. It's very, very close. I did the maths yesterday. So you want to come and join us for that, and of course, you want to see Alan and Maria having some fun. So, and we've got 2 more guests we're trying to line up, so who knows who they might be. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be epic. So, you know, just come and join. Come and join. That's it. That's your only option. You have to come and join. If you don't, you're a dark friend, and we'll just leave it there. So, nice and simple. Okay? That's it. Let me bring in my guests for this evening. So please welcome, you've seen some before. There's a new face in there. Please welcome Wise One Shelly, Ro, and the Registered Nerd. How we doing, ladies?
Hey.
I love it. Yeah. There. Wait, you can't see it because it's behind the cameras. Do that one. There we go. So, Shelley, you've been on before, not for Star Trek, but we've seen you before for a bit of wheel spinning. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Lovely. I love the t-shirt.
Thank you. This is the first one my dad may be watching. So I'm going to
Hi, Dad.
Be extra well behaved today.
No, just be yourself. You're awesome. So, Ro, welcome.
Who do you think I learned it from?
Yeah, exactly. There we go. See, Ro, welcome back. How are you doing?
Living long and prospering.
Nice. Getting all the nerdy references out. This is good. This is good. And last but not least, Emily, Registered Nerd. How are you doing? Welcome to your first ever live stream.
I'm great. I'm nervous. My face is there, but everything else is fine. I'm like noticing all my vacant expressions. Sometimes I'm like thinking.
It's fine. Look, I'm here to cover all bases. So I do all the goof ups. You ladies will be great, I'm sure. Have no fear. If you're not familiar with any of these people, that means you're not in any of the Discord servers, because they rock around the Discord servers, a few of them. And if you've listened to the Black Tower podcast, you might recognize Emily's voice from one of their spoiler intros. Mine is quite horrific in its spoiler side effects.
Magical.
Magical is one word you could use. It's an experience, is mine. But if you want to be soothed and just have your laughter buds tickled. I can't think of a better description. Like, you just listen to that and it's hilarious. You're like, it's so clever. The spoiler warning that Emily put together. Am I right? Andrew did the music for you. Is that correct?
Yeah. I don't know what's like not, demonetizing. So I just sent it without music. I was like, do whatever you want.
Well, Andrew found some amazing music to go with your spoiler warning, and every time I hear it played, I'm just like, oh, it's nailed. It's so funny. It's very, very clever. So nicely done. Well, welcome, ladies.
Thank you very much.
We are here today. Normally, when we do these things, we're putting characters into ajas or, I don't know, countries or societies or anything of that sort of nature. We're going to change it up this time. We are going to be uber nerdy, and we are going to put Wheel of Time characters into Star Trek, like series or episodes or characters or whatever we think is appropriate. And we have a nice big wheel of names. I should probably bring that up on the screen. Why not? It might be helpful. There it is. Nice little selection of names. And we're just going to bring them up and have a little debate about where they should go. I've got some fun things if we find any Borg or red shirts or anything, but, I wouldn't give the game away. Are you ready to spin the first name, ladies?
Let's do it.
Right.
Spin it.
Who are we going to get? We have Ruach as our first name. Okay. Right. Where are we going to put Ruach? Anybody have an instant reaction?
I mean, Ruark is Picard.
Picard?
There's no question about that. He's a leader. He's the dad we all look up to. He can give a great speech when he needs to. He's thoughtful. I think Ruark is Picard, hands down.
Okay, we have a vote for Next Generation Picard. Okay, I love the way I said that, as if there's another Picard.
There is another Picard.
There is, yeah. Is he Picard in Next Generation, or is he Picard in Picard? That wasn't a better way to say that.
Maybe he's Picard in Picard, because he is a little world weary.
I would feel a little better about him being Picard in Picard, because I feel like the earlier Picard honestly breaks the rules a little bit more often than I think Ruark would. He likes to bend things to what he feels is morally correct, whether or not it interferes with the rules that are set down by the Federation or even he set for himself. And Ruark doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's willing to put aside things like the Prime Directive. He's going to follow the rules, and if it leads him to death, well, it's a good day to die, or
the prime suggestion.
Yeah, it is the prime suggestion for him. That's
Sorry, Ro?
Doesn't that become a little bit more Worf?
He is a little more Worfy, I think, in the way that he acts. He's not as warm, Maybe like Worf when he's like hanging out with Deanna.
Okay.
Like emotionally accepting Worf.
Warm and fuzzy Worf.
Warm and fuzzy Worf.
Yeah.
Has Ruark ever been warm and fuzzy?
Yeah. Well,
I think with his wife, he's pretty sensitive.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, okay.
I think Worf's version of warm and fuzzy would be about Ruark.
That's true.
Okay.
Because ideals don't do PDA.
I mean, holding hands is pretty risque. So, okay. Are we settling on Worf then?
I feel good about Worf. I'll commit to that.
Okay.
I like it.
Emily's committed to Worf. I normally make notes, and I have not set up my notebook, so let me grab that. Ro, you in for this? You out for this? You're in?
I think Worf.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my Picard.
Picard, or?
Yeah, we got a double.
Picard. I think that was my suggestion.
So we have a TNG and a Picard. But somewhere along those lines. Okay, that's not a bad start. Chat, let's see what chat is saying. So Master of the Deck in chat is saying, we've got a few suggestions here. So DK Moon says Rock would be a good guest admiral. Master Deck is suggesting Sarek, which is Spock's father. So okay.
I think Sarek's a bit of an asshole, though.
Yeah.
He's not a lawyer, and Rourke is a lawyer.
Yeah,
Derek's a politician, you know?
it's a good suggestion, but
Yeah, I think that comment is fairly accurate. And Jason, who was the security officer in the first year of Next Generation? That was
Tasha Yar.
Tasha Yar. That was
Tasha Yar?
it. Yeah,
Yar?
yeah. So, yes, played by Denise Crosby. You are correct there. All right, so the first name out the bat. Chat, let us know if you agree, disagree, put your thumbs up, thumbs down, and we'll pull another name out the hat. Not a bad start. Gowan. Ooh, Gowan. Okay. Now, do we have Gowan? Now, firstly, thumbs up if you like Gowan, thumbs down if you dislike Gowan, or thumb out in the middle if you're like, eh. We got a thumb up.
I like
Gowan until book 14, and then you decide he's the worst because he's ruined all of your hopes and dreams for his character development.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a strong feeling of where Gowan would go? Like which series or position in the series or anything of that nature?
Definitely a red shirt.
Red shirt alert, folks.
How about broccoli?
no, because Barkley
Here's
is
the thing,
competent.
Barkley's like really smart though.
He is, yeah.
But I think I would argue that Gowan is quite smart. He's had a lot of education, not only in physical fighting but in mental fighting. But every time he tries to do anything that resembles anything that makes sense or is like the right thing to do, he just messes it up. So
Like, I'll do the opposite of that.
Mulaney, street smarts, he lacks them.
We're already getting red shirts in chat. So that's, we're kind of there. Jason says Wesley Crusher.
Everyone does find him annoying, but I don't like that because I had a huge crush on Wesley Crusher, and I'm still mad at Gowan. So
You're crushing on Crusher. Okay,
yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this Teen Bob poster on my wall, so.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I personally was not crushing on Wesley Crusher, but I could probably see the appeal. Everyone else was much older, so yeah, fair enough. So
I think Wesley
called us
Crusher is
old,
too
guys.
smart because he's like evolves with the Traveler and goes off and does cool stuff, assumably, but Gowan does not.
He's also like a super
I was
rule
thinking-
follower, except for, like that one episode, so I would say he's like made Galad's more of a Wesley Crusher than Gowan is.
I'm trying to think who would I feel like
When
we're
he
stuck
took
on...
over engineering.
Oh, yeah.
When he's like, oh, I feel intoxicated. This is fun.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think.
Oh,
I
I have a weird one, but maybe
I think I have an
Dr.
argument
Bashir.
for...
Who? Sorry.
Because he's so Dr. Bashir, because he's so well-meaning, but everything he does kind of just makes a mess.
But he's so charming and he's so smart.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
No, but
smart and charming, but everything that he does always falls apart.
yeah, but even in Dr. Bashir's most stupid situations, you never once be like, you don't hate him or dislike him. You're just like, oh, you've been a bit silly there, haven't you? Whereas when Gowan's being Gowan, you're just like, oh,
I think that Gowan, to me, is Tasha Yar. Because he is a good fighter, he's very smart, but he makes poor choices and has a shitty ending to his character arc.
He's very angry all the time.
You've sold me on that last one.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't make right choices. He's emotionally kind of unstable. I mean, first episode, I think, was like, hey, let's have sex with Data. Not.
It was
not,
pretty
like,
early on.
Emotionally, yeah. Yeah, I feel I'm gonna go with Tasha Yar. You like want to like her, but sometimes you're just like, come on, woman, could you just maybe not do
Just
that?
wanted to go where no woman had gone before. That's all.
And she did.
I think she was just the smartest woman on the ship. Like 5-year voyage. Let's find the guy who's going to be able to do anything I need him to.
The one who never gets tired. Yeah, there we go.
Exactly.
It's true.
All right. So have we been sold on Tasha Yar?
I was thinking maybe Harry Kim, because he never levels up.
And he never levels up. Ooh, I love Harry, but that's also a great option.
But he's so likable.
But I mean, for 13 books, so was Gowan. That's what you said earlier.
A little whiny. So,
And then, do you remember bitter Harry Kim? In the episode where Chakotay and Harry come back?
Yes.
Bitter Harry Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you make a good point.
That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Harry Kim.
Ooh.
He just wanted to go home and see his
become a
parents.
lieutenant.
Yeah. And I'm
Him and Jordy, those solo single guys, never could get a date.
all right. So have we moved on to Harry Kim?
I still vote Tasha Yar. I like Harry Kim too much.
Okay, so we have Tasha Yar, we have Harry Kim. Ro, where are you falling on this?
Harry Kim for sure.
Okay, I'm actually falling on Harry Kim as well. Sorry, Emily.
Fair.
All right, Harry Kim, lovely, and that's obviously Voyager. Nice. This is good fun. Yeah, oh, Master of Deck says Gowan is a reboot Kirk a bit. I don't know. I don't see that. Maybe. You'll have to argue at some point. Gaul. Okay, we're back to the Aiel now. Gaul. We need someone good for Gaul, don't we? My initial thoughts, and I haven't thought this out at all. This is just like a gut reaction, and I am going for. No, I don't think it's going to fit. Actually, go on. Spock.
All right, so hear me out. Everybody always looks at Spock like he's the guy who stood back and like hold back Kirk. But if you watch the original series, Spock actually hits up more ladies than Kirk does in the whole entire original series, for one thing. For two, he's kind of the sidekick, which Gaul is kind of Perrin's sidekick in a way.
Yeah.
And they both have that, say, sort of reserved, but also totally there to jump right in and get their hands dirty kind of vibe.
Okay. How are we feeling on that, ladies?
I think Gaul is O'Brien.
Chief O'Brien?
Yeah, I think he's Chief O'Brien because he goes through some really tough stuff.
I like that.
He's very competent. He's kind of, a best friend with Bashir. I like your Spock
I like that.
argument.
I feel that, and he's very committed to his lady.
Yes.
Okay, I can see this. Derek's just put it in chat what I was going for, so I'm going to throw it out anyway. I've decided. Will Riker.
Yeah.
Nope.
Except that I think Gaul is capable of sitting in chairs normally.
It never happened.
I can see Gaul having a quirk when it comes to using a chair. He's Aiel. They don't use chairs.
Although he is very tall, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I think he wouldn't be him because
Not a creeper.
frankly, Riker's just like, yeah, I'm like in love with you and stuff, but I just need to like not commit and work on my, career and sleep with every possible woman I can that I breathe near. Like I just don't think that's very Gaul. I mean, he's very self-focused on his own pleasures, and not just in the lady kind, but like, you know, trying to like up in the ranks and get his career and things that make him feel good. And I don't know that that's Gaul.
Jason Enberg in the chat has suggested Chakotay, which I think is actually.
I'm feeling
when
that one.
Chakotay when he was written well, he was a pretty big badass, right?
Yeah, I think so too. I like that. I like that a lot.
Ro?
He's a good leader, but he's a better second in command, honestly. Like, he's a better...
I feel like Ro's not liking that option. Either that or she's got a really bad cup of coffee right now.
I think her Spock argument is
I feel like
good.
it's an easy line to draw because so much of the Isle culture is based off of Indigenous American cultures, right? And Chakotay is an Indigenous American, which is like 90% of his character and what we know about his character, and the other 10% being that he was Maquis. So, like, I get that it's an easy line to draw and be like, yeah, they fit. It doesn't fit for me because Chakotay has like zero personality for me to pin a character to him. You know? That's where my head's at on that.
I mean, you have a good argument for Spock, but I'm not sold on it enough.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Chakotay now that I've seen it. I'm a fan of that because I totally think you're right. The way they portrayed him as an Indigenous American was horrible, and that shouldn't have happened. There was a whole bunch of stuff behind the scenes that was terrible about that.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, being kind of a sidekick, being second in command, being a fighter, he was very thoughtful. You know, he's also an anthropologist. He's also a boxer. He's also a cook. Like, he likes to cook things. I was like, he does have personality outside of it. I think it's just...
And he was epically devoted to Janeway. Epically.
Yeah.
So.
Which,
well,
you know,
and he calls people out on their
dedication.
shit, too. I think that's important. Like, even when they, like... when his, like, sort of lady girl, Seska, went and stole mushrooms to make him soup, he was like, dude, you just stole from the food. Like, now we're both getting our replicator, you know, rations banned, and you're in trouble, and this is a problem. Even though she was trying to do something nice for his birthday, he was like, dude, no, like, you have toe.
Yeah. And he would call Janeway on shit as well. You know, he would turn around and be like, yeah, that you can't do that. That's not right. To the point where she relieved him of command. So, and I could see Gould standing up to Perrin like that. So,
yeah, he has a strong backbone, which you have to with those two maidens.
Okay, so 3-1, Chakotay. Sorry, Ro. I'm sure you'll get one at some point. We're doing okay so far. This is good. Sulin. Okay. All right. Sulin.
Kira Nerys.
Ooh.
Okay. Your arguments? Oh, Shelley's just sold straight off the bat.
I mean, strong, independent woman who's a warrior and, like, doesn't take anybody's shit and gives it right back at them. Yeah. But also very maternal in a not maternal way. Like, she takes care of people. She's very caring and concerning, but not maternal. Because if I'm correct, Sulin is the one that treats Rand like he's a brother. She's very much has that vibe where she's very caring and concerned for people and wants to take care of them, but not in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree. I think not only for, you know, I like the way that you say that she's caring in a different way than motherly, because I think that is an important distinction for her. But I also think, like, she's, like, authoritative enough to match Sulin. Like, when she gives commands or tells people to do things, even if, like, they're not under her, people generally listen because it's a reflex, because she's giving you the command and you listen to Kira Nerys. So I think that's a good parallel for Sulin.
Yeah. Shelley, you were sold pretty quickly. Anything to add, or you just
Major Kira is my favorite character. Yeah, Major Kira is my favorite character in the whole series, and I really like Sulin, so there's that. And I agree, she's a warrior. You know, she's smart. She's a tactician. Yeah. She takes care of people. She takes no shit. She calls people out on their bullshit. You know, you can almost kind of see episodes of where Kira gets angry because she's not getting sent on a mission because she's so frustrated about being a bureaucrat now that you can see
she hates making schedules.
You can basically see her breaking. Exactly, she could basically see her breaking the spears because she's so frustrated. Yep. So it's like I think it's a perfect.
Yeah. I like it. All right, so we have Sulin there. We're doing okay. So we have a Next Generation, or maybe Picard, depending on how you want to look at it. 2 Voyagers and DS9. So we're covering the spectrum of shows so far. This is good. We had Janeway in chat. This is for Sulin. I'm not like Derek. I'm not getting that one. Sorry. No, I don't think the lady's getting that either. Look on the faces there. All right, another name. Paddin Fane. Oh, Paddin Fane.
Shields up, ready?
I've already decided who this is, and I think he is Seska. Because, you know, Seska was a Cardassian pretending to be a Bajoran, pretending to be in the Maquis. You know, like, she's just super manipulative. She's always out for herself. Her agenda always seems like partial to being cruel. She uses people, and she has that obsessive trait, like with Chakotay, that just seems to like be fully ingrained in her person. So just like Paddin Fane, she can never be herself. So I think Seska.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, when you make good arguments like that, it makes for really boring YouTube because I got nothing to fight with.
I know. I'm trying to think of other characters that were like double crossing now or something.
I see in the chat that Jason suggested Khan, but I think
that was my second thought too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Khan is just too. Paddin Fane, if he's an evil guy, he's like this evil guy, right? Whereas Khan, if he's an evil guy, he's this evil guy. Mm-hmm. Like,
yeah, you need someone almost like if Quark wasn't actually decent underneath. It would be like.
I think Khan is like Demandred, so like.
Khan is too consistent.
Not that we're doing it that way, but
yeah. And Paddin Fane's not consistent.
That is true.
Khan is like Nazram tame.
That's a good argument.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think if there's any other double-crossing sneaky characters anywhere.
I mean, there's the guy
who's it
on DS9, and he's Maquis, and he's like the security officer from Starfleet who butts head with Odo.
Oh my gosh, what is that guy's name?
He ends up running off with the Marquis, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he's just not. I think Seska's still the better double crosser because she's slimier.
I was thinking the character that Jason Isaacs plays in Discovery from the Mirror Universe. His character name eludes me right now.
Captain something.
Mud, also Mud from Discovery as well has been named.
Mud. Everyone, my sister's dog has made an appearance.
Hi.
Hello, puppy.
We're all down for Harry Mudd. Okay, I don't know the good options, but I think Seska still has the best arguments.
Lorca.
Captain Lorca. Yes.
Yeah. I do think it was a good argument for Seska, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think if you hadn't come straight out the gate with that one, that could have been... Yeah.
That's the one I actually thought the most about, so...
My dad just texted me the guy on Deep Space Nine was Addington.
Thank you. You can tell. You can just Dad. Dad, you can come in and just tell me. You know.
Because I know who fits him. I know who would fit for him. But
who?
He's on the wheel, so if he comes up, I know who Addington would fit best for.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's spin and see who we get. We have Tuon.
Tuon? Sorry, I shouldn't jump in.
Do it.
Yeah, come on. I mean, I've got one that just popped into me. Sorry, who?
Tuon is Mirror Universe Kira.
Yeah. For sure.
Right?
I can
Because
totally
she's still a badass, but she has slaves.
She's so creepy.
All those kind of problematic things. She's kind of creepy. She's got like the people kind of clinging to her.
She's a bit more emotional than I think of with Tuon, though.
I have one to throw out for you. The Mirror Universe Philippa Giorgio, who's Empress.
Oh, that's good too. I like that they're all mirror.
Yes.
And she's an Empress already, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she is prepared to do whatever she needs to do to get things done. And it doesn't matter how many bodies she steps over. No, I like that.
Shelley, apparently your dad needs to get into live chat, by the way.
I've messaged him that, but he's like, he hasn't seen Wheel of Time, so I think he's just enjoying the banter of Star Trek. The reason I got into Star Trek is just so.
Well, I'm glad. All right, so are we happy with Giorgio, Mirror Universe?
Yeah,
I
think he took my thought and made it better.
Okay. Empress Giorgio. I'm going to make sure I spell that correctly as well. Thank you, Google. All right. Let me spin a name whilst I'm doing that and see who's up next. Cadswain.
Sorry, my brain just went to the only old character of Loxana, but it's like such a bad fit that it's almost kind of an awesome fit.
Oh, poor Odo.
Oh, he got an education.
Yeah.
It's not perfect the Janeway.
Yeah.
I have a smaller character. Do you remember the scientist who was obsessed with getting the crystalline entity?
Ooh.
And like she was so obsessed with it that she ended up like killing it.
Yeah.
And if you think about what Cadswain almost did to Rand.
Her son was killed by it. So that's why she was obsessive about it.
I'm Googling.
I like that.
I do like that.
I don't remember her name.
Keelamar. Dr. Keelamar was one of the Federation's foremost experts on the crystalline entity, studying the 12 attack sites, including Fallout 3, which is the one that appears in the episode.
Oh yeah, so she's basically chasing out like men who can channel, except crystalline entities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, getting as much information as she can so she can get done what she feels is correct, and be damned to the consequences.
Yeah, she doesn't strike me as someone who cares about the rules, except her own rules.
Yeah.
Ro, anything you want to add there, or any other option that we want to consider? We have Next Generation, or TNG, Picard, Voyager, DS9, STD. I've always wanted to say that live on YouTube. Who named that show? Seriously, we'll call it, because then the acronym could be STD. Oh, true. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
Science.
of Discovery. Yeah, because of Discovery.
I don't know if it's a good one. The only other character I can think of possibly is Alexander's mother. I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
Oh. Not bad.
The changeling leader of the Dominion is in the chat.
Yeah. That's another.
It's not a bad one. Yeah, tough one, isn't it?
No. Irritating that she's the character that defies all characters.
What about Commander Shelby? Same thing, kind of obsessed with getting the Borg, really bossy, just kind of comes in and pushes everyone around.
Oh, that's not a bad shout. Riker pushes back, and then she's just like really, like basically sawed off.
Oh yeah.
I had to look up her picture.
Beverly. What's the doctor that
Yeah,
replaces
she would be a good
Beverly?
one too.
Oh,
For, like,
Dr. Pulaski.
Yeah, Dr. Bitch. What's her name?
Yeah.
Sorry, bad word. I don't like her at all. I don't remember her name.
I like Dr.
That's
Pulaski,
okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's not
like,
actually a bad person, but she is like, everyone didn't really like her.
Too irritating
Okay.
what she does about.
What about the doctor that Dr. Pulaski does not like because she's essentially experimenting on people that are injured? She ends up like, they have an episode with them and she's like, oh, I tried this, whatever, and like it didn't work, so they died, and she's like, that's experimental, you can't like just fucking do that. And she's like, oh, well, I did because it's a good idea, what was her name?
All I'm getting is the doctor with that Cardassian guy on Voyager.
Yeah.
Because it's the same situation, so I can't remember the Pulaski storyline because of that.
Good old Star Trek recycled storylines.
Yeah. All right, should we put a pin in this and come back? Because I feel like we're a little stumped.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave her in... No. I'll leave her in the mix. If she pops back up, we have to make a decision. If she doesn't pop back up, then we can leave it for people to comment on, I guess. So, all right. Brigitte. Got to be a good option here, surely.
Oh no. She's kind of also Major Kira.
Well, we've already done a Major Kira.
Roe? Ensign Roe?
Oh.
Oh, I like that.
Wow.
Me. Yeah. Ensign Roe, I think that's a good one. For Rita.
Not bad, not bad. Tilly.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
She's not a scientist, though.
No, yeah, I know. I don't know. It made me laugh to just say Tilly.
Same energy, though.
Who was the? I don't know. Who was the cyborg in Discovery? Was that Miriam?
Oh, I can't remember her name. The red-headed one?
No, that's Tilly. Cyborg's bald kind of looks a lot like Nebula from the Avengers. Actually.
Yes. Looks a lot like her. Arium. Yeah, it's Arium. I don't know. Lived multiple lives. Had some horrific stuff done to her.
Maybe?
Sacrifices herself. Don't know.
I think it's tricky, right? Because Trek has so many scientists.
Yeah.
And Brigitte is like a warrior. So she could, if Lursa and B'Etor didn't suck, she would be kind of like, I think she would be a female Klingon, honestly.
Yeah. That's not.
Oh man, all this silence of thinking great YouTube.
Yeah.
like what would she?
Chat, help us.
Well, what about?
Look, there
what
is a
Dax?
deep resolution.
Dax.
What about Dax?
Dax is basically Klingon, isn't she?
Well, I mean, she's lived many different lives.
She's a trill.
Yeah, multiple lives.
She's also a badass. She also she can be funny and chummy and go play tango with the Ferengi, but she can also work hard during the day. She enjoys a good time or a wrestle to start her morning, but she can also be professional. So I think Dax is. It took me a minute to get there, but I think Dax is.
I like it.
Is my pick.
Weird taste in men. Fits in with Brigitte liking ugly guys.
Exactly.
So yeah. Oh, I'm sold on this.
Of them in the elevator, when Kira's like, I don't think I could manage to date a man with a see-through skull.
Yeah.
It's fine if you once you stop to ignore it, you know.
She's like, when you've lived 8 lifetimes, it's, you know, like, not a big deal.
Yeah.
Plus or minus. You know,
Yeah, I'm sold on Dax.
I love that. That's great. That's great. Nicely done, Emily. Nicely done.
Yeah,
That was excellent. This is so much more fun than being like trying to put, I don't know, Star Trek characters into Ages or something. Like, this is hilarious. Galad. Oh, okay. We've done one brother. Let's do the other.
Oh, God.
Dax has received approval in chat. 7 of 9 was thrown in chat as well for Baguette.
Yeah, she's not really like a warrior though.
Yeah.
She also doesn't have that chummy, able to go have a drink with, you know, kind of, you know, one of the guys kind of vibe. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
like
if
she
you're
does
taking
with Matt. And
yeah, if you're taking social lessons from a digital doctor, yeah, you're hardly going to be the chummy go drinking type, are you? So, and Silverhole gets her drunk like in about half a glass. So yeah, that's.
For Brigida, but we've already moved on.
Yeah. All right, so Galad. Galad.
So who's the goody two shoes of Star Trek?
The goody two
Jordy?
shoes. Oh.
Jordy's not going to tell on anybody. He doesn't have that kind of backbone for the most part. He's a sweet, sweet guy.
Who's the goody
And he sure
two-shoes?
can't get a date.
I think Galad is the Vulcan, the second head in engineering, who's under B'Elanna Torres. I can't remember his name. But you remember he like goes into Ponfar and tries to sleep with her.
Yes.
But he's like always telling her the rules and quoting the rule book at her.
Yes.
I definitely agree he's going to be a Vulcan, for sure. Because
Vorik.
He's a Vulcan.
Vorik is, yes. I love it. I'm in on that one.
Most annoying Vulcan.
DePaul wouldn't be half bad on that if you're going for Vulcan too. Like she's pretty.
Yeah.
Because she also has,
And
she also like expands outside of the realm of just Vulcan like emotion, right? Like she allows herself to expand outside that range. I think that which Galad does to some degree.
We've had a
his moral self.
Yeah, we've had an interesting option put in chat. How about Data?
I kind of like that a little bit because he does tend to like compute, essentially. He weighs it on his scale in his mind, whether or not it's right or wrong, and then that's it. But he also like strives to become more emotional and make connections, even though he's like really maybe not so good at it. And apparently he attracts the ladies. I mean, first episode.
Bam.
And he gets a girlfriend later.
Yeah, and he gets a bald queen as well. So you know. Although that's in the movies.
Difference is though Data's trying to be more human. Galad joins the Children of the Light, so he's kind of doing the opposite.
Except that his point, I mean, like he becomes. Spoilers. He becomes the Lord Captain Commander and to make changes because it's lost its way. You know, like he has a moral compass, but it's not. It's like Superman's moral compass. You know, like he does understand the difference between right and wrong versus strictly what is good and strictly what is bad, because pure good does not. Well, we have this argument. Pure good does not mean necessarily good actions, right? But Galad knows the difference between these. That's the entire purpose of it for him, is to be as good of a person as he possibly can achieve. In my personal headcanon, that's what he's doing.
Well, and he's shedding his naivete as he moves on too, because he wants to join the Children of the Light because when he read it in the book, they're doing the right thing. But then he's finding in reality, people are not doing it by the book, and but like, why do you have the book? You know, so then he wants to make things better to fit his world of what he feels is right and wrong.
Yeah, that's solid.
I feel like that almost makes him like a Maquis, right? Because
Yes.
the thing about Star Trek and the thing about the Federation is they have these big ideals, and then the Maquis kind of start being like, well, wait, you have these big ideals, abandoning people on the Cardassian frontier. How does that line up with these ideals? And almost like he's a Maquis at the end. So who would be the rule-abiding Maquis? Tuvok undercover.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Can we go with Tuvok?
Someone who's not really Maquis, but kind of. Yeah, I mean.
Can we do Tuvok? Like first episode Tuvok.
Yeah, like
Well,
the
even
very beginning of Tuvok, before he had to make concessions for what was going on in his world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tuvok is a good fit because even Tuvok, he does what he feels is correct. Like at one point he decides to go and steal the device from that like pleasure planet because it would help get them home. Even though Janeway's like, we can't steal it from them, they won't give it to us. It's kind of like our prime directive, we can't do that. And he's like, okay, she cannot do that, but we need it, so I will go do it. And then he goes and tells on himself, and he's like, I did it, and because it was the correct thing that you couldn't do. And she's like, what the?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's very Galad. It's like, okay, well, this is the right thing to do, so I'm going to do it because I'm the one that needs to. I like him as a choice, not just as an undercover Maquis, but as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've just all sold ourselves there. Ro, do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Currently,
all the trouble we had with Cat's Way went right through.
Yeah. We have 4 Voyager characters, 2 DS9s, maybe a Next Generation or a Picard, depending on whether we go Wolf or Picard, and 1 STD. So, yeah, we are Voyager fans currently.
One STD.
Which one?
Which STD?
Two on is our STD.
Mine. It's mine. I know exactly who this is.
Who's
Elida is Kai Wynn. I will take no arguments. She is Kai Wynn 100% all the time. Always.
Oh,
Kai Wynn.
Yep. Snap.
This woman,
boom. I'm just writing it down.
Next character. And I just have to say,
Perfect.
That woman is in 14 episodes of like a 7-season series and somehow is one of the best villains in a multi-series universe. Kudos. Sorry, it has to be said.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like it because she, her reasoning is always for the betterment, and she's always like, "Oh, it's because I'm friggin' amazing. The prophets love me."
I know better. Yeah, I know the prophets better than some guy on a space station who didn't believe. So, yeah. I love it.
The thing that always makes me think that I always think about with that is the being so brittle, being so rigid that you're brittle and you break, which is what Elida was. She's so rigid in what she believes that it broke her. It's just the same thing that happens to Kai Wynn. She's so brittle in her belief and her need to believe in the prophets that it literally breaks her, and she ends up on the opposite end of the spectrum from what she originally believed without even realizing it, and then had to make sacrifices in her because she was intending to do the best thing. She thought she was the best option, right? Yeah. She truly believed she knew what was the best thing to do, which so did Elida. She truly believed that, but the road...
They both feel they're destined for something that they are not.
The prophets went
I love that. I think that's the easiest pick of the night so far.
Yeah, that was good.
So, yeah. I'm glad it came up. Andrew.
Nothing else to add with that.
All right. Emily, where are we putting Bay?
Oh, maybe.
Gosh, I don't know. Go. You go. I got to think about. I haven't thought about Androl. All I can think about Androl is Androl.
Actually,
he's one of a kind.
I think maybe he's Chief O'Brien.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's really good at his one thing. he's kind of he's an enlisted man. He's not an officer.
Yeah.
He's always stays an enlisted man, kind of. Goes through some tough crap.
Yeah, he's older. He's done a lot of things in his past.
Yeah, and if you think about like how they're always trying to turn people to the shadow, and Andrel's just like, what's going on? I think there's almost probably one of the the seasonal Let's Torture O'Brien episodes is probably like that. It's almost that exact thing.
Poor O'Brien.
Oh yeah, and like he leaves the station, and the station breaks down, doesn't it? Basically, everyone's like, "What are you doing? What when Chief's here? Nothing's I don't know how the Chief does it. He just does it. Like, and how does Down do gateways? I don't know. He just does it. So yeah. Oh wow.
There's also a moral consistency to both of those characters, right? Is that even if there are things that they're wrong about, because there's parts where like Miles has a consistent issue with being essentially, I guess, speciest would be a little bit more accurate against the Klingons.
It's true.
Klingons, the Cardassians.
Yeah.
And, but he does work through it, through the series. I'm not saying Andrew has any of those issues, but they have a moral consistency, right? And all they need to be shown is the correct path. And Andrew very consistently knows what the right thing to do is in a different way than Galad does, right? Like, he knows this is just the right action to take. Doing that would be the bad thing, so I'm going to do what is right overall for the greater picture, and whatever sacrifices I need to take to do it, I'll do, which is also very consistent to Miles's character. He will do whatever it takes, whatever is necessary, and it all seems like very small things that he does, which you said, like the space station starts to fall apart, but everything that he does is what keeps everything running.
Yeah. We've had some fun things in chat. So
really good
for Elida, DK Moon suggested Elida could be a random Borg, suffer of 8, which is good. But for Andrew, we've had Scotty put into chat as a recommendation. Few people have said Scotty actually. Okay. So, what do we think about Scotty? How is our OG knowledge here, folks, on Scotty?
A little more wizened, so that might match better.
Scotty is Scotty too high up in the chain of command to be?
I think he's also a little too boisterous for Andrew, because Scotty is a little. He's got a big personality, and I think, especially with the arguments for O'Brien, I think that fits him a little bit better. He's not making a big noise on the ship unless it's for the safety of everyone, whereas Scotty can just be a little excitable, I think, more often than he needs to be. Not that it isn't fun, but I don't think it's painful.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
So,
but I think for the same reasons it fits O'Brien, he has some. Yeah, so he has some consistencies in that. The same reasons, but there's enough that sets him apart, I think.
All right.
Basically, what we're gathering here is that he's definitely in engineering, no matter which character he is.
I have to come to grips with that, like, O'Brien is
Oh, Emily, I think we've lost you there a little bit.
Oh.
No, you're back now.
I said I have to come to grips with O'Brien now being Bay.
Yes. If you have listened to
how I feel about that.
If you have listened... Yeah, Chief O'Brien wasn't Bay already? You didn't like that that accent wasn't doing it for you?
It's not that he isn't, a fine, upstanding, attractive gentleman, but, his speciest ways, especially that start out in Next Generation, kind of has just immediately made it hard to be excited about that. And he's very committed to Keiko, so,
That's fair. So, folks, if you're worried where the Bay comment comes from, it's in Emily's spoiler warning. It basically, what is it? Accepting that Andrew is Bay, regardless of your gender or sexual orientation, I think is the wording you used.
Yep,
yeah,
that's it. Because he is the best.
Love it. All right, next name on the list. Who are we getting out? Oh, Gallard?
I
Was
have
he
my
in the-
fingers crossed for one.
Okay, I think Gallard might have been in there twice by
We
accident.
did.
Yeah, I've taken him up. Oliver. Wesley Crusher.
Oh, poor little
Oliver's
Oliver.
Wesley Crusher.
Yeah.
I think a little bit more Tom
Well-
Paris.
To-
I was
Oh,
thinking
wait.
a little Nog. How about Nog?
Nog. Oh my god.
Okay, actually though, personally, that actually really fits. I have to say, one of my big stands in life is that Nog has the most personal growth of any character in all the Star Treks ever.
Yep.
This is a full Ferengi kid who becomes a Starfleet
Champion.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, the character development of that character is insane. It's so amazing to watch throughout Deep Space Nine. He's one of the ones that I would love to see back again as a character, although I believe he passed away a little while ago. But that would be, I think that's actually spot on.
And
That
he
or
starts out
there's also-
rapscallion and like maybe not trustworthy and just kind of like like causing trouble on the station and just being a, whatever. But then like you said, as he grows, he finds something he loves, like Oliver loves his horses or, things like he finds something he wants to commit to. He wants to be in the Federation. He wants to do that and break those traditional Ferengi roles. And I think
Wants to
that
be more.
Yeah. I like it. All right. So Oliver is Nog.
and he's got a big maw.
I mean, they both.
Oh wait! Don't we? Isn't it in the books like he's never going to grow into those ears?
Yeah, he has big
Yeah,
ears.
I think so.
And he's supposed to be not very attractive either.
Yeah.
Hey, there's people out there I'm sure who find Ferengi attractive. So
Though I don't think that Oliver would ask a lady to chew his food for him.
no, probably not.
Yes.
All right, I've said Shelley wants to go first here. So Shelley.
Okay, Nynaeve, one of my favorite characters. She's Dr. McCoy, hands down. She's crotchety.
Oh.
Yep, that's kind of the biggest number thing. She's an amazing healer. She's excellent at what she does. She's also a leader. McCoy is also a leader. She attracts like the best guy in all of Wheel of Time, hands down. McCoy, he's a ladies' man too. I think he's a Southerner. He's got all those kind of like old conservative manners. Nynaeve has like her conservative manners for the Two Rivers. They're the same person.
Yep.
Bones has appeared in
I
chat
like
as well.
it.
So yeah.
Yeah. He likes to yell at people a lot, and even if it's not like he's being super mean, but like even when he's yelling at Spock, he's calling him a green-blooded hobgoblin. But it's not because he still cares about him, but he's kind of being a dick, and that fits.
Oh, yeah.
That fits very very well with Nynaeve. I like her a lot too. She has so much issues with fear that display in anger. So, and I think that also fits with McCoy.
I can definitely hear her going, I'm a wisdom, not a insert. Not a circus performer.
Nice.
I can hear
All
it.
right.
Yeah, I like that. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna write
That's
Bones.
perfect.
All right, so this that's our
That was the
first
one I've been
OG
thinking
character.
about.
Yeah.
So nice. Right, who is next? Egwene. Okay.
Nobody listens to her.
Cinderella.
Who's shouting at the sky?
Alana.
Actually, I think Egwene might be Dr. Bashir, even though she's not a doctor, because she's like the ooh girl, right? She's like, I'm super smart. I can do anything. I'm going to try and throw myself into a bunch of situations I'm totally in over my head with. And that's kind of Dr. Bashir in a nutshell.
And the gifted kid in general, because he was a, what's it called, as well. So, what are they called? What concepts? A genetically enhanced human being, right? is the gifted kid, which she is. She is one of the strongest channelers to have been born in a female channeler in a long time. And then, yeah, I think there is.
Okay, Dr. Bashir, yeah. I'm trying to think who else could we possibly have? I do like the who's yelling at the sky moment.
Yeah. Things I hate about Gowan. He's like, I certainly understand.
I see Kirk in the chat, and I think a good argument could be made for Kirk too, because he's also, canonically quite smart, quite, on the ball. I think maybe the only issue with Kirk is people accept his command quite willingly, whereas Egwene has to fight for it.
Well, what about new Kirk?
It's exactly where I was going. What about reboot Kirk? Yeah.
Reboot Kirk might fit a little bit in that because he does get looked down upon, like he's too young, he's made mistakes, and, like we're not even sending him out on the ships when we're being attacked by everybody in the world, and but he has to claw his way back up to.
Yeah, he gets kicked off, he gets back as captain, then in the second movie he's like breaks the rules and he's no longer captain, he gets kicked out, and a little bit back and forth all over the place. I might lean on that one a little bit more, actually.
I almost want to say Wesley a little bit. I know, like, maybe, like, people find her annoying, even though I think she's pretty rad. She's incredibly gifted. She's destined for greater things. But people often, even when she's correct, will not listen to what she's saying. And they treat her like a child and like she has no authority. And she has to really work her way around and manipulate to be able to get people to listen. And I think that falls in Wesley's purview.
So almost like Wesley is Egwene just as she goes off to the Aiel type moment, like Wesley. So if Wesley had come back and fulfilled the promise that they started with in the show, that would have been Egwene coming back, sort of thing. Okay, I could buy that.
And don't they both get like absorbed into light at the end?
Yeah.
Doesn't Wesley, like, he goes with the Traveler and they can kind of like transcend time and space? They sprinkle off into space, and
they're like, our consciousness is decorating over here. Just don't breathe in too deeply. I don't know.
Yep. I love it. And then Picard at some point just yells, "Shut up, Wesley!" And I could definitely see that being a moment that fits into Egwene. Someone just shut up.
There are so many times when he's like, dude, and they're like, no, you're a child, get the hell out of her. And also he has some prejudices that he has to get over too. Like, he started finding that one girl attractive that turned into that weird bear creature, you know, and then he was like, oh, do you even know how to love? It was one episode that stuck with me because I was like, what a dick. Like, are you kidding me? And like when she first starts out, she's going like to the stuff, and she's like, well, and then she's like, oh, these guys are actually pretty all right. I guess I was being kind of a bitch. Tinkers are all right. Like she kind of grows as her world gets larger than it was. She learns to accept fairly quickly. And I think Wesley does that too.
I like it. Ro, what do you think?
I forget what all the other options are.
That says Wesley Crusher to me then. What were the other options? Reboot Kirk.
Yeah,
Dr. Bashir.
Dr. Bashir.
Dr. Bashir.
I would say either Bashir or Wesley Crusher, so honestly, I'll leave it to the rest of you between those two.
Chat, Wesley Crusher or Bashir. Tell us, and we'll add it in once you've decided. And we'll pull another name in the moment. So, the Prophet.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Shields up, ready?
I've got to use it at some point, haven't I? So, or actually, is that a shields up red alert moment, or is that more like?
I don't think he's a red shirt. I think he's too evil for that. I think he's pervasive enough to Because he gets people to follow him. He's not a
Okay.
throw.
Shields up, ready?
Sorry, I'm having too much fun with that.
He's
Gold
I want to say
Ducat.
he's Gul Dukat, but I like Gul Dukat so much, and I friggin' hate
That's what makes
Missima.
him so annoying, isn't it? He's likable because he's just on the cusp of being good, but he always takes the wrong path every time.
But Missima's not likable. Like, Missima has no redeeming qualities, whereas Gul Dukat is at least, like, charming and likes his family, and, like, he's a complicated character, whereas Missima's just, like, annoying.
So, how about what is the? Oh, so when they join the Dominion, there's those clones. What's the
Wayoon.
name? Wayoon.
Wayoon. He could be Wayoon.
Except Wayoon is the sycophant.
They're, I mean,
but
they're prepared to be that way, though, so it's not, like, 100% their fault. But
And I guess they are their gods, and that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Nah.
But again,
Yeah.
I think Wayoon is such a good character, so I just Missima as a character. He's the character who, if the show cut him, I'd be like, the show is now better than the books.
Right. Okay. Someone's suggesting Cisco in chat.
No,
I was like, whoa. I think Derek's winding us up there.
although he is the prophet.
Here's the. Oh, I hadn't considered that. Oh, yeah.
The emissary. He's the emissary. He's
Yes,
not a
the
prophet.
emissary.
of
Yeah.
the prophets. Yeah.
Yeah, he chats with them, and they're like, linear time
Oh,
is
do you know
hard.
who he is? Who's the bad guy in the original series who's got like the big green head? Oh, he's the Gorm. That's who he is.
Oh,
Because he's just so easily defeated at the end. He just like
So-
gets his ass kicked for no good reason and adds nothing to the plot.
So
other than
is-
as an excuse for someone else to show who badass they are.
here's almost a little bit of a. Then, you know. That's his ending. We start off, we start off with this,
Shields up, ready?
and then his ending is. I love those. Sorry. We're getting a
Yeah, I'm
Borg
sticking
in
with
chat.
the Gorn.
I like the Gorn.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, Lancer, you're a little bit late. You're suggesting that Lancer is Kai Wynn. Oh, sorry, that Lancer is Kai Wynn. That the Prophet is Kai Wynn, but we've already put Kai Wynn down as Elida.
Elida.
Yeah.
And it's a good fit.
So, Locutus has been an option as well. I'm like, nah, I'm not going for that.
it is actually dangerous.
Right. So the Prophet.
Oh no, wait. Okay, so what about that one guy? Do you remember in Next Generation the planet or the people that came on board that could like do telepathy for your memories and stuff, and they were like trying to help people uncover their memories, and then like it got like a little kind of rapey with Deanna trying to like take over her memories and stuff, and he was like doing that to people but blaming it on other people, and like he was a creep
was
and
gaslighting.
pervasive. Yeah.
I don't know.
His name.
That
Like,
kind of reminds me more of
Lore has just been suggested.
Lore.
I mean, he's really evil, but he doesn't actually ever really do very much in the end.
Yeah, he does do some evil
he
things,
doesn't have
but yeah.
a goal or
Yeah.
a
No,
focus
he's
like
just
the prophet does. Ugh.
And Lore does collect an army. He does get those the Borg together, doesn't he? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm actually
the guy you're suggesting.
Yeah.
Emily, the guy you're suggesting, who's the guy? His name starts with N, who takes over as Elaine's king of the guards. He's like a dark friend.
Oh,
Oh, I like that.
That's who that is. That's who that's
Yes.
quoting me of.
yeah. What is his name? Chat, help us out with the guy who
Yeah.
becomes like, who's supposedly
Sleazeball. Yeah.
Sleazeball,
I
the
like
father of
he's
her
like super
child.
rapey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that
David
guy. Okay.
Hanlon.
I like that.
David Hanlon.
Yes.
That's the name.
David Hanlon. Yes.
Nice. So the Prophet, are we putting the Prophet down as Lore? Do we like that one then?
Gorn.
Lore? As the Gorn.
Sorry.
The Gorn? Okay, the Gorn. From the OGs. Lovely. And if I go back in chat, we had a couple votes for Wesley and one vote for Bashir. So Wesley wins it for Egwene. And welcome to those that have joined us recently who are nerding out with us but don't know the characters we're talking about. You're missing out. Go watch some Star Trek.
Or read some Wheel of Time, whichever one you are.
Yeah, exactly. If you know Star
Trek, read the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, Shelley's dad, go read Wheel of Time. You won't regret it.
We're proving how well they fit together. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like we could do this again, to be honest. It's great. Logain. Who gets the redemption story? Not that... Well, no, he does in the end, yeah. I was going to be like, not he doesn't, but at the very end he does. Who gets the redemption story? Who starts off as a villain and gets the redemption? Tom Paris? No.
I was going to pick Tom Riker, maybe.
Okay.
Did I just hear
redemption?
Yeah, that's a good point. Where's the redemption?
I really don't like.
Well, in the end, he does give himself up to a Cardassian prison to save the rest of his crew. So there's a little redemption in that. And then also, depending on how you think about it, he does join the Maquis to fight for a cause that he feels is more right than the Federation. It might not be, the black and white good choice, but at the same time, he was doing it for a reason that he felt was right. And so he found a reason. He found a path after he had been essentially mistreated by being left on that planet alone for like 8 years.
Yeah.
I'd be insane.
And then Will Riker actually treated him like a bit of a douchebag. Or no, Will Riker was a douchebag to him, sorry. Purely because he felt threatened by himself, in effect.
Who wouldn't be?
I think
Riker.
I would say Kirk.
I think Logain... sorry, my sister just said the Cardassian tailor, Garrick, which...
Not
terrible.
Does this mean your sister has read Wheel of Time, by the way?
Not yet. She's the one who's going to read it soon.
Okay.
She's got it on order from the library.
Good.
I think Logain actually is Odo. And I think I can make a decent argument for Logain being Odo.
Go for it.
Okay. If you think about how Odo was found by that Bajoran scientist and treated, that's not very different than how Logain was treated by the Red Ajah. And then if you look later in Deep Space Nine, Odo is kind of held up as someone who everyone in Star Trek can be afraid of. And so he almost becomes a catalyst for people changing and kind of acting badly against. And then in the end, he's got this like beautiful redemption arc where we see his power and he goes back and he kind of joins his people and becomes like a big bad, like he's always a badass, but he's got this like really kind of cool ending where he's like, he gets to be fulfilled. And I think story arc is kind of like Odo's.
I like that. Particularly the ending piece for them. He's at peace at the end, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'd agree the story arc is his personality. I'd say Kirk. He's a man that both fit, because all the arguments you made about New Kirk before fit Logain also with the story arc a lot of the time, right? He's not nearly as, Kirk has never been perfect, we'll say, but he's a little more gritty than, say, the original Kirk. But he's a man who, when he says a command, people follow it, which Logain has always been. But he's also a little goofy. He's definitely a man who likes to have a good time, but he knows when to focus, and he is willing to make the hard decisions, right? He is willing to make sacrifices that other people will pay for because it's the hard decision to make. Like, he's the man, he's willing to make those hard calls. He's a man in command. He should be in Command Gold or Red, whichever series we're in.
Okay.
I think for some of the same reasons you guys are saying, I kind of lean more towards Cisco. because I feel like he has that command. He does go through a redemption story, essentially, especially, I mean, the first episode. I mean, because he's just stuck in a time where he's feeling so much pain, and he has to kind of move on from that. And he's also not afraid to break the rules, you know? Like, they'll be like, hey, that's blackmail. And he's like, yes, it is. So are you going to do it? So he's not exactly a model officer, but at the same time, he's still a leader in a very different and unique environment.
Just a quick thing here. If we made Logain Captain Sisko, he would have as his number 2 in charge, Sulin, who is Major Kira, and his one of his good friends would be Bagheet, because that's Dax, and then his
I can totally see Birgit and Logain knocking back some ales. Like, come on.
I love it. That's great. He would be up against Elida as Kai Wynn. Andrel would be his chief engineer. and his the person he sponsors to join the Federation would be Ulva.
I literally no problems with any of that.
I'm enjoying this.
I have 2 things.
Yep.
Glenn, the geeky hippie, just made an excellent point that Sisko is the favorite all-time Star Trek captain, and I totally agree with him on that. And the other thing is, picture Alvaro Morte, the guy who's playing on the In the Pale Moonlight episode. And if you like that, I'm just like picturing the Logain doing it in the Pale Moonlight episode, and I'm just like, yes, I'm sold.
Yeah. That okay. I like it. It fits.
If you remember, sorry, for those of you who don't remember, that's the episode where he works with Garrick to blow up the Romulan ship at the Federation to take steps they need to actually win the war. And it's kind of like a soliloquy episode. It's one of the best Star Trek episodes ever, and I can just picture Logain doing that Sisko role.
Yeah. I love Master of Deck in chat. Based purely on this team, I'm going with Sisko because Master of Deck has not watched Star Trek, and Glenn is agreeing. I'm not sure what with, but they're agreeing vehemently with whatever one of the things.
Start watching Star Trek. You'll be done in about 2 years if you just continuously watch for 24 hours every day.
24/7, 365, and you'll get done in a couple of years. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 9 names left. We'll do a few more, and then we'll sort of pull it to a draw. We've got some fun ones left here. So we have Tam, Fail, Omen Volda, whatever we want to say it, Carradine, Matt, Verin, Tom, and Turok. And Cadswain, if we pull it back, then we have to make a choice.
Can I make a suggestion? If we run short on time, we should rapid fire them.
No
justification, just first name that pops into your head.
All right, and then we'll just... Okay, well, shall we try and rapid fire and get through all of them?
Yep.
All right, here comes the first one.
If we can discuss a few more if you want. It's your show.
Oh, well. I mean, if ladies, if you're happy to hang around, I'm happy to keep going. We'll just eliminate the whole list. So,
Tom Paris.
Matt is Tom Paris.
He's a little Riker too.
TNG. Stop suggesting Riker. Just ignore his existence. Tom Paris, especially if you consider TNG the version of him that's not officially him, but it's definitely him. They just didn't have the legal rights to make it him because of the original writer. Tom Paris as well. Like he's not a bad, he just goes the wrong way, right? Makes a bad decision. And then everything after that is trying to redeem himself from one bad decision he made as a child.
Is Tom that lucky?
He's like goofy and no, but who is?
Yeah. Tom's good with the ladies.
And he ends up with a woman with a very strong personality who is not wholly unlike Tuan. So, just saying.
All right. Do we have any other options for Matt here?
What if
I'm
we
feeling
do
a
an
little bit
Enterprise
Cisco's
character?
son.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Shelley, what did you say?
No, it's okay. I was just going to say, what about Malcolm from Enterprise? We haven't done an Enterprise character yet, because Malcolm's the weapons guy, right?
Yes, he is.
A little bit cheeky, kind of bad luck. He doesn't quite have the same sense of humor, but he does have a bit of that Brit dry wit. So, but I think, just because I feel like we haven't done an Enterprise person yet. And like,
Yeah, but I mean, if Malcolm were made captain, he'd be like, yes, I deserve it. But if you made Matt a lord, he's like, no, I'm not a bloody lord. So,
oh my gosh, Matt's Scotty.
No. I think
No, it sounds
I think
weird.
a little bit. I think a little bit Jake.
Hear me out here.
all right, you
I'm
tell us,
just
Shelley, and then
thinking,
sorry.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Matt might be a little bit Scotty, because Scotty's got some really random luck, right? Like he'll be like, "There's no way this beam up is going to work," and then it works. There's no way I'm going to finish this in 30 minutes, and then he finishes it in 30 minutes. Like he's got this random luck that doesn't make any sense. He doesn't want to be in charge, but occasionally he does upend Enterprise, and it goes really well. He's sarcastic. He's got the sense of humor. He's a gambler and a drinker. I might be a bit of a Scotty.
All right, Emily, what's your pick?
I think Jake, he is a little bit of a rapscallion, especially in the beginning, running around doing pranks and stuff, making friends with unlikely people like Nog, resistant to wanting to be in the Federation, following his father's footsteps. He wants to do other things, and definitely chasing the ladies, older as well, much to Cisco's dismay. So I think he's got some good vibes for Matt, and he does, innately try to do the right thing. I mean, he doesn't do the right thing by the law, but he's a person that helps other people but finds another reason for it, or you know what I mean? Like he's good. Like when he got in a fight with Nog, he talked Odo into putting them in prison so he could have a conversation with them without having to have a conversation with him. You know what I mean? And I think that's a little bit Matt. Like, he's like, no, I'm not coming to talk about feelings. We both got arrested, but by the way, maybe we could hang out. So I think that's a little Matt.
Okay. I don't know. I'm enjoying the chat at the moment. They're on a Trip Tucker sort of vibe at the moment. That. Yeah, I haven't watched Lower Decks. I keep meaning to watch Lower Decks. I have not watched Lower Decks yet, but apparently there's a line in there. He's Kirk with Trip Tucker sprinkles. Why can't I? I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm just going to say Trip. Glenn reckons you are describing Trip, and we've had some requests for Matt being Riker. I would go for Riker. Riker wants to be in command at some point, doesn't he? Riker's okay with being the boss.
He's a career man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt's not a career man. He doesn't want to be tied down. He may end up being tied down, but kicking and screaming. Whereas Riker is like, bye, love of my life. I gotta go, get another commission. So yeah. I don't think that's
love of my last 5 seconds.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, I think
maybe
we might have
like
to.
Cat Swain.
Yeah.
I think he might just be one of those characters that RJ is such a good writer that he's so hard to replicate anywhere else.
Yeah.
No one quite fits.
Is Matt untrackable? Is that what we're saying?
No, I just think that he should just himself go into Trek. That would be fun.
Okay. I mean, and maybe he'll be a bit of a Q.
He would be a great Q.
That's actually what we said. He's a Q.
He's a Q.
Yeah. He's his own Q.
Yeah, can't really be defined. Just Q. I'm just going to write Q. I'm not going to put a name because Q's in a few things now. I'm just going to write Matt and Q because it could be any one of them from any of the series. Okay, I like it. We'll go with that because we can't really pick anywhere for him. So, Tom, where are we putting Tom? Oh, this should be fun. Oh God, who's musical with hidden dangerous talents?
Riker.
Riker.
I mean, he does have
Um,
talent, supposedly.
Ooh.
he does enjoy telling stories too. I mean, he's always up for
Oh,
talking about
Garrick.
past escapades.
Garrick, because he's one of those ones
Yeah.
where everybody's like,
Perfect.
is he a dark friend? Is he not a dark friend? I don't know. That's Tom. And they have the
And he
same
likes to talk around like, what if I knew this? Maybe it would be like this, but I obviously don't know anything about it.
Don't know that. Like,
Yeah.
Garrick would be king of Desdemar.
Oh yes, yes, and so is Tom.
sure.
We're getting we're getting some fun ones in chat. Derek, the name for the emergency medical hologram in the end was wasn't it John in the end?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something really like.
And it was his wife's father's name. It was his father-in-law's name. That's why they went with it. Tom equals Morn, Sulu. Getting some fun names, but no, I'm down with.
More never speaks.
I'm down with Garrick. I'm absolutely down with Garrick. I love that.
Yeah, I think Garrick is a great fit.
Yeah.
All right, back on the DS9 train. It seems. Love it. Who we got?
Louis Zimmerman. That's what he ended up picking. Found it.
No, Louis Zimmerman is the name of the man who invented the EMH. Dr. Louis Zimmerman.
Oh. Oh, it does say creator. I thought that's
in
in
the
his
last
name.
episode,
Oops.
he picked like Andrew or some
Yeah, it's something bad.
dude name.
Yeah, well, because he picked a name before, and then like, that weird hologram lady called him that when he died, and
Yes, it was.
in Beowulf.
Yeah, Beowulf.
And he was like, maybe don't call me that.
It was like a Schmite. What was it? That's really bugging me now. That's why can I not remember Schweitzer? That's his name.
Schweitzer. Yeah,
Yes.
Schweitzer.
The Doctor is my favorite character from Voyager. So it also I don't know. I also enjoy that Voyager has 3 Roberts in it. That's just fun for me. So I'm trying to find his name now. What did he call himself? Name. There we go. There's a whole section on name. Joe. That's what he came up with. 33 years. 33 years, and he came up with Joe, which was his at the time fiance's father's name. And they obviously got married. So yeah, who is? But let's go with who we've picked. By the way, Verin. Who is Verin? Has chat put anything in there?
Janeway.
Admiral Cartwright, Janeway, Guinan.
Guinan.
Ooh,
Guinan.
I like Guinan. I think Guinan is
yeah,
pretty good because people even Q is like she's dangerous, and she's like, what? Poor unassuming me. I just 10 bar. I think that's a good and obviously quite knowledgeable and obviously gets stuck in her own thoughts and
long lived,
very focused.
Lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm a
I
big
think
fan.
Guinan is good. I'm also liking Admiral Cartwright though, because he's a good character, and he's one of the recycled characters in Star Trek, which I really love. Because he eventually plays Sisko's dad.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, you're right. Yeah.
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 And I'm on the.
But I
I'm going to
think
be on the
Guinan-
Guinan. Yeah, I'm on the Guinan train.
I'm on the train as well.
Yeah. All right. Easy peasy. Next.
Lemon Sneaky.
Did that? Yeah, that did work. Okay, cool. What is it doing? Oh, there it goes. Why is it not spinning? All right.
I have blood.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
He was a scary dude, though, right? He was the first Terran, besides Lon, like one of the first Terran
It's Blade Master.
marked Blade Masters that we met, and that Rand fought, like legit fought. He wasn't a dark friend. That was Sirach, if I remember correctly. But he was a high blood of Shan-Chan. So he wasn't good, but he wasn't bad, technically.
Kim better is Gul Dukat.
Yeah, he's a good Gul Dukat.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, Gul Dukat.
I mean, the only thing I don't like is that he is like a bit of a red shirt, and Gul Dukat's awesome. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. So who's a baddie who's also shit?
Ooh, that's a good one. The chat says Khan. Khan is a good one for him, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, highly skilled, but
you could see this guy quoting.
And he's very, what's the word?
dramatic.
Oh. Who's the Klingon admiral played by Christopher Plummer? Admiral Kang, I think it is. So Christopher Plummer, amazing Canadian Shakespearean actor, plays a Klingon admiral.
Admiral Chang.
Admiral Chang. I think he's Admiral Chang because if you remember in the Undiscovered Country at the end when his ship's about to blow up, he's like quoting poetry, and he goes to be or not to be and looks off the screen super dramatically. And that's basically like him embodying what those Shan-Chen servants do, where they pull out their knives and all stab themselves. It's like so much drama. I just love it. It's perfect. He is definitely, because Christopher Plummer's like a famous Shakespearean actor, Canadian. I know I said that, I'm just going to plug that. And he plays this Klingon so perfectly. It's probably, I think, one of the best performances in all of Star Trek. And I could just see Christopher Plummer playing Turok. And doing that kind of dramatic ending at the end where he pulls out his sword with his long nails and he's like, oh, let's see what a Herrenmark blade is worth on this side of the world. Like, I think he's Admiral Chang.
Yeah. There's Dana Liu says that's a deep cut with Chang, but, yeah, I like it. And mostly chat's getting on board with that. Lesbian Nerdy has suggested the original villains in Voyager, the ones that just sort of went away. I'd say those guys. Does she mean the I want to say Nistrum, but that's not who they are. That's one of the sex. Kazon.
The Kazon, that's it.
But they turn up for like 2 seasons. They're still around, aren't they? So
yeah. The whole Cesta thing.
Yeah, I like Chang. I'm going to call that OG, even though it's the movies.
That did make me.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't watched,
what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry. It's going to start something else, so you go first.
I was just going to say, if you haven't watched the movies, I think Love's the Voyage Home. It is great Wales, but I still think Undiscovered Country is probably the best one.
Yeah,
they're good movies. Like all, to be honest, I enjoy pretty much every single one of the movies. I think they all bring something. But that's just me. Fail.
As a side note, real quick before we move on, backtracking just a little bit, Gowron would have made a really good prophet.
Yeah,
Gowron is the prophet.
I was also thinking,
the crazy.
What about the new Star Trek? The guy who comes into the future or past or whatever, who runs the oil ship or digging ship, and he's all kind of insane and wants to blow up
Eric
Vulcan.
Banner's character? That
guy could also be a good prophet because he is very focused, kind of crazy. Got a little cult following, and
for sure.
It takes a lot to kill him, though. I would say.
Fail.
Yeah. All right. So who are we getting for fail?
God, Dr.
Pulaski?
No, not Pulaski. Though that actually is not terrible because she's.
I don't even know how I feel about this, but Kess?
Yeah.
Because she's like kind of annoying sometimes, but also like an enjoyable character sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
a little feisty.
Actually, maybe Fail. Maybe Fail's Michael Burnham.
Ooh.
Because she's kind of annoying. She's constantly doing the wrong thing, but still getting, like, she still somehow gets rewarded for doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's trying to do the right thing.
I think you're onto it
Derek
there.
in the
Someone's
chat.
saying
put a good
funny
one
is
with-
Torres, but
Yeah, that's a good one as
nah,
well. But
Torres is too. I think Torres is not manipulative, and that's like one of Fael's biggest flaws. She's so manipulative.
Yeah, I like Burnham. I think that's a really good choice. So I'm going to roll with that. I'm making executive decision there. All right, last 4 names, ladies. Let's see what we get. Tam Althor.
He's so wholesome.
Yeah.
Janeway.
Mm,
Hey,
I was going to say
mean,
Cisco's dad.
Cisco's dad. No, he's got some badassery, and he still like goes out in the world and stuff. And Cisco's dad is like, I don't even want to leave Earth to come visit my son. So
It's true.
Oh,
well, not until
Archer
what
was
Jonathan Archer. Yeah, I was thinking Archer, to be honest.
Yeah.
Except that I think Jonathan Archer compromises too much. Especially if you think about the storyline with all the torture and everything. And I don't think Tam would I think Tam's got like a very strong moral compass
Yeah.
that Archer kind of like
That's
goes
true.
against. Oh, maybe Tam is the really good looking one from Discovery who we all know eventually ends up in the wheelchair. Why is his name escaping me?
Pike.
Pike.
Captain Pike.
Pike.
First captain of the Enterprise.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we going Discovery Pike or OG Pike?
Discovery
OG Pike
Pike,
is
I
in
think.
one
Okay.
episode.
I know, but you know.
And he can't talk because he's he's full paralyzed.
Yeah. Someone. Gregory reckons that Tam is untrackable. Lancer says the Kelvin timeline Pike. We've had another Jonathan Archer, Admiral Pike, Jean freaking Luc.
Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh,
But Jean-Luc never wanted kids. Like, he's not a dad.
No.
but I have an
on.
argument. I'm going to make a counter argument here. Okay.
He is a dad
Tam-
at one point.
Yeah. Tam finds Rand and goes, well, you always wanted kids, not we wanted kids. And I can see Jean-Luc Picard being like, okay, I've got to look after a kid, raising a kid, and doing it the way Tam would do it. So I'm on a Picard train right now. I don't know, I'm liking that.
Well,
I don't think so. I'm sorry. I think Picard would not be a good warm dad.
All right, I'll give you that one, yeah.
I'd go with Pike. And you never really know how well you'll take to being a parent until you are one. So who can say with Picard? I think Picard is a good example of a man who could have been a father, but that's like an alternate universe. So
Yeah.
who can really say?
All right, so are we going for Pike? Is that what I'm hearing?
I do like Picard in the in his little alternate lifetime that he lived in the probe.
Yes.
Where he like learned to
Oh, from the inner light, yeah.
and all that. That was a whole lifetime. And he got used to being a dad, being a granddad, taking care of them, and his family was very important to him. If you remove Starfleet, he's a family man. But
Yeah. I mean, how was he with the kids on the Enterprise after that experience? Like, I feel like he started to, it wasn't a case of like, oh, I've got kids on the ship, whatever. I feel like after that, it was a bit more, what's going on my screen there? Sorry, 1 second.
oh snap!
Snap. It's having a moment.
That's okay.
Wait a minute, so yeah, I can take that down. And
But I think getting more comfortable is not necessarily going to make you a good parent. And I think Pike has that like charming badassery. Like, I think if like we'd all love to be at the beer or the tea where Tam and Ruark are kind of like having their tea together. And I think Picard would be Ruark and Pike would be Tam.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, keep in mind too, Tam, you don't become first captain of the Ilian companions because you are, 100% a kind man all the time. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, they are
true.
elite shock trooper style warriors. Like, there's no way he became first captain of that without being capable and willing to do not great things during the Isle War. Just throwing it out there.
So we're going with Pike.
Yeah.
All right. Pike from Discovery. All right. We have 3 names left on the list. We do not have anyone from Enterprise. We currently have what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 Voyagers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 DS9s. We have 3 STDs now. And we also have, how many OGs do we have? 2 OGs, and Next Generations we got 1, 2, 3 possibly, maybe. We might call that as a Picard. So yeah. And our options are Cadsuane, Carradine, or Volda. This is going to be interesting.
Okay.
Volda.
Oh, shit.
I mean, do I need to put it back
I can't
up on
remember
screen?
which one's Valda.
He's the one, like, he basically takes over the White Cloaks for a second. He, like, manipulates
Is he the
the
rapey
drone.
one?
Yeah, he kills. I literally just I was listening.
He's the head of the Hand of the Light.
Yeah, and
The head inquisitor.
he kills. Who's the old great captain? Pedro Nile.
Or Nile, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a good. What's her name? He's that Romulan that's from the offshoot of Tasha Yar's alternate timeline where she ends up on the. What's her name? The blonde Romulan, who's head of the Tal Shiar. Maybe that's Eamon Valda.
Anybody in the Tal Shiar would be perfect for him, to be honest.
I love chat. Let's be honest. 3 STDs.
That's a good one.
It says her name is Sella.
Yeah. Okay. Marcus from Star Trek and Discovery. No. We want someone we want an evil character here, don't we? We want one of the villains.
Yeah. I think he's from the Tal Shiar. Even though he's not a questioner, I think he's still pretty bad.
Tal Shiar, okay, yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Master of the
good
Dead.
choice.
Admiral Marcus, the villain from from Into the Darkness. The pretty blonde chick's father.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the Card tortures Picard. There are how many lights?
Yes. Oh, what's his name? I want him. That's it. I'm just going to Google who tortures Picard, and that will come up.
I think
answer is Wesley.
that's good, and he's so matter of fact about
Captain
it.
Jellicoe.
It's just the way it is. It's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we Captain
Oh yeah,
Jellicoe.
remember when he's like, I'm thinking the Cardassian. That's not Jellicoe though. That's
Oh no! Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Suggestion.
Yeah. It doesn't say who. Yeah. I'm just gonna find it.
Because remember when he's telling his child that humans don't love their children. Like you can just imagine this child of the light being like
Gul Madred. Madred. Gul Madred.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, of course I have a family and I love them, but like You're a piece of shit, and this is what we do to pieces of shit. It's like, he's like, go ahead, daughter, I'll see you later, I love you. It's like, what in the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We've got. I'm happy with that. Are we happy with that, ladies?
Yes.
All right. Carradine or Cadsuane?
Shields up, ready?
I was going to play it whichever one came out, so because I was like, we couldn't pick Cadsuane, or we get Carradine. All right. So we need another villain now, don't we?
Need another one.
No, he's the head questioner of the.
Yes. Yeah. This is the yeah. God, who are we going for this then?
Maybe, remember the episode where Gul Dukat, or sorry, not Gul Dukat, where Garrick goes back and meets his old boss from the Obsidian Order? Garrick's old boss from the Obsidian Order.
Isn't that his father as well?
Yeah.
Or am I mixing up his old boss with his father?
No, it is. It's his father, and he was raised by the housemaid because he wouldn't acknowledge Garrick was actually his son.
Because that would have been a weakness to be used against him.
Exactly. Yeah. He was raised in his house raised in a house by the housemaid or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like just Googling Star Trek villains.
Labyrinthine. What a name. That's a great name.
Yeah. Or he's the head of the Tal Shiar, like one of the secret societies that tortures people. He's one of them. Or he what is it, Section 13?
He could be Sella.
He could be Sella, yep.
Yeah.
All right. We're back.
So, what name are we putting, sorry?
Like an Labyrinthine for it. I think that's a good name.
Labyrinthine. Who are the people that make O'Brien live in a life sentence in his head?
Yeah. That's not a bad shout.
Yikes.
Yeah, basically anyone who's been a torturer on Star Trek is kind of
Yeah.
for grabs in this.
Yeah, basically. All right, last name on the list. There's no point spinning it. It's Cadsuane.
I think she might be another Untrackable.
Chat, there's a few more of you in here than when we had Cadsuane earlier. Who were our options when we threw around for Cadsuane? I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I said Loxana.
Yes. I think that's as far as we got.
Yeah, then we were like,
we're all like, no.
I think we can all agree that Tai Lin is Luxana. Come on.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah.
An old woman who hits on all the young men, that's Tai Lin.
Okay, yeah. Oh, God. I just don't know who we could possibly get as Cadsuane. It's just...
Philippa Giorgio, normal universe from Glenn.
Okay, Damar.
Yeah, and we came up with sorry, the other one I suggested was the doctor for the crystalline entity.
Yes. Tamsa, which is Lancer, recommends Dr. Crusher or Pulaski. I don't like Dr. Crusher. I'd be tempted with Pulaski.
Dr. Crusher.
No, I'd be tempted with Pulaski, but not Crusher.
I don't know. Crusher is not that bad because they have an equal amount of self-righteousness.
Shelby is
but does
also
Cadsuane have sex with a ghost?
I don't know. I don't think she does have sex with ghosts.
Yeah,
I don't know. It depends how you define. Like, you mean like when they might be ghosts now, but when she had sex with them, they were alive. Like, you know, it depends how you define that. You know? That's possible.
They're ghosts as an outcome of having sex with her.
I have never come to Dr. Beverly Crusher's defense ever before in my life, but you can't really come at Beverly for the ghosts if you don't come at Janeway for the hologram guy. So
yeah. And Riker for the
All
holodeck
very well written.
gal.
Oh yeah.
Only women.
And Harry for falling in love with a holodeck character. And then
And Geordi for falling in love with a recreated person in the holodeck.
who was actually a real person in who he then met later and got very embarrassed by.
Barkley for creating all of them.
I am the goddess of love.
Oh my god, yes, I forgot.
Why
empathy.
are there not restrictions on holodecks about putting in actual human beings' faces? Why is that not a restriction?
Worst job on the Enterprise. Worst job on the Enterprise, person who cleans the holodeck. Because we all know what that would actually be used for. These Shakespearean recreations that people do.
It's worse on Deep Space Nine because Quark runs those programs. I'm sure there's more racy ones in there.
Cat's is Moogie.
To have Kira
Moogie? Sorry, Cat's is Moogie?
Cat's is Moogie. Yeah, Quark's mom.
Do you know what? Just for the absolute hilarity factor, I'm saying yes. You've scored.
Yeah.
That's something special right there. That's yeah. Cat's is Moogie.
just think about it, right? She's very manipulative with her sons, right? Like she knows that she can do wrong by being like, "Oh, I'm sucky, I'm such a good mother," and then with Quark, she's like busting his balls or busting his ears, I guess, because he's a Ferengi. But she's like super smart and makes profit. She ends up like marrying the Grand Negus. Like she's a green Aja all the way. I think Cadswain is Moogie.
Moogie, I'm writing it down.
What about Cadswain as two people, as the Duras sisters? Because they're super manipulative. They're always trying to get their way.
Are so repulsive.
They what?
Oh, just my favorite line from them. Human females are so repulsive.
Oh. I missed part of it, so...
It's all good.
You know, they're very politically motivated, and they're willing to do whatever they need to get done, and they don't care about the methods or the people that they hurt along the way.
So true.
As long as the Duras family runs, they're happy.
The only thing is they're kind of evil.
Yeah. And they're not even like, are they evil? Are they not? They're just evil.
Because I'm not a fan of Cadswain, but I will give her this. She did want the best for people. Her perception of what the best was.
Which was a wee bit skewed.
But did want what was best. And in some cases, her version was the best version of that, right? Like, trying to get the Ashaman to return to humanity. Getting them to remember how to be human was a good thing. There was definitely selfish reasons for that, but it was still a good thing to do, and she did it also to be good. And she saved Tom's nephew as much as she could.
Well, I think some of the things about Cadswain for me, like, she has good goals, her main goals, you know, those things that she's going after, whatever her, ways about doing it, and her opinions on it are a little, whatever. But her day-to-day, she's so just, like, shitty and dismissive to everyone is beneath her. So outside of her goals, outside of those main things of trying to save the world, she's just so stuck up. And she just looks down on everyone except like maybe Sulin.
Yeah. Okay. I know. I enjoy Moogie. I'm just stuck on there on the Moogie train. There's something funny about it that I'm just like, yeah, I'm in.
I'm just gonna
like it.
I just want to note my dad finally made it into the chat after I started about how talking about how holodecks are used for sex. So,
oh, nice. So, Shelly, I was going to build you a holodeck, but now, no.
It's just like the internet is for porn. It's just like, the later generation of that.
It's the 4D internet. That's what the holodeck is. It's 4D internet. That should be a meme, shouldn't it? What's a holodeck? It's just 4D internet porn, basically. So, or is it because you can smell and touch? It's at like 60 at that stage or something,
I just want to see like Quark sitting there singing "The holodeck is for porn."
Like to the theme of Avenue Q is like the internet is really, really great for porn. The holodeck is really, really great for porn. For sure.
There's an old meme of World of Warcraft characters singing "The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. Why you think the net was born? Porn, porn, porn."
Isn't that originally an Avenue
So
Q
I just
song,
want Quark singing that. Maybe
that's what it was parodied from.
I only ever saw the World of Warcraft.
That's brilliant. I love
just
this.
Got really nerdy in here. I'm sorry, guys.
We've just spent an hour talking about various Star Trek.
We have evidence to back it up because there is that episode where that guy pays for Kira's holodeck version in a bed and and then they edited to have Quark's head on it instead, which is just
the best.
Perfection.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Further
When we were talking about musical characters and we were thinking about Tom, the other character that came up was Vic Fontaine. That was the other person I was thinking about.
Oh, yes, Vic Fontaine.
He was a good one.
Yeah.
We had a lot of really good holo characters.
Yeah, there were some great holodeck characters, I have to say. So. Well, that is our entire list of names exhausted. We've been going a good couple hours, and it's been hilarious. It's been so much fun. Thank you for joining me in this nerdy conversation, ladies. It's been great. Emily, how was your first live stream experience?
It was fun. I forgot we were live, so it was just fun chatting around. I haven't looked at the chat. I didn't want to have more than one window open, so
That's fair.
I liked it. That's
good. Yeah, hopefully you'll come back at some point. So, because I think we could have more fun doing this. This is hilarious. So, folks, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you're watching back and it's not live and you think we should have picked someone else for a character, put it in the comments below. Or comment, hey, I want you to sort this person next time, and we'll add them to the list and maybe we'll do it. Hopefully, if we do this again, Curbie can join us. Curbie was meant to join us tonight, but the laptop decided that, it was just give it up on them this week. So, yeah. Sadly, but Jen, I'm glad I love Jen in chat. This was a fun way to wake up. I'm glad. Now go watch Star Trek, okay? Put on Star Trek right now. Here we go. One last question, ladies. For someone who's never watched Star Trek, which Star Trek should they start with?
Deep Space Nine.
That depends on their personality. I find Next Gen a good jumping off point, but I also agree with Deep Space Nine. Here's the thing. So my husband does not watch Star Trek. And I decided I was going to get him to watch Star Trek because he's my husband and I love him and we're committed. And so he has to like this. Otherwise, what am I doing with my life? So we started with Next Gen because it's my favorite. And I thought he wasn't that into it. And I thought, by season 3, he'll be hooked. By season 3, he was watching The Arrow on his iPad, like with a little headphone in and pretending that he was watching Star Trek with me. So I was like, okay, let's watch Deep Space Nine. Maybe that's a little bit more approachable. The first episode is 2 hours long. And so we had to watch it in little spurts. He couldn't watch the full 2 hours. And on the third little spurt, because we'd watched like half an hour, then we watched like 45 minutes. God, is this about his dead wife? And I was like, it's the same episode. It's the first episode. She how long are you going to mourn me? And we don't watch Star Trek together anymore.
Okay, so now does he read Wheel of Time?
Yes.
He's read Wheel of Time.
Oh yeah.
All right, you can stay married to him then. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but like it was shocking.
Maybe a fair compromise would be Voyager as the good streaming. It's not, and that's going to come at me, right, too. TNG is boring, and Nine is investment, and a little different, right? But Voyager is kind of in between. Voyager might be a good starting point. You kind of get a little bit of the TNG vibes, and you kind of get a little bit of the Deep Space Nine vibes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Now, I do not think Next Gen is boring. The first episode is Q and android sex. I'm just saying it starts off banging, literally.
Shelly, you've been very quiet.
I have a whole other YouTube video of us debating about whether or not TNT is boring or not, because I can go for hours about that, and this girl has to go to the bathroom. So let's wrap this up.
Okay.
All right. Shelly, very, very quickly then. Which one would you start with? Just very quickly.
I will say, I think the Tasha Yar Data episode is the second episode because they all get that drunk disease. They put humanity on trial. That's Encounter at Farpoint Station. But yeah, that was the nerdy. I never get to like correct people on Star Trek, and that was how I kind of knew I liked my partner. He doesn't read Wheel of Time, but he's totally schooled me on Star Trek trivia before.
Nice.
Honestly, I start with the movies. That was kind of like what made me love Star Trek was watching the Star Trek movies. So my dad used to be able to quote the undiscovered country in the voyage home. So like to this day, I still hear him saying, "I have no meteor shower," which is like Sulu when he has to turn her into the way. I still have this movie quoted word for word in my head, and I hear the character saying it, and then I hear my father saying form of the characters say them. And I think the movies are just kind of like a shorter entry to Star Trek. And so if you're new to Star Trek, watched it before, especially if you're younger, watch the new ones, watch the J.J. Abrams, and then go watch the originals. And it's also what you like. If you really like philosophy, the motion picture is a great movie for that. If you want a really cool environment message, go to The Voyage Home. If you want to watch a really awesome villain, watch The Wrath of Khan. So when you're recommending, think about what that person wants. And don't go with a series, I would say start with an episode. So if you're going to watch TNG, start with The Inner Light. If you're going to watch Deep Space Nine, and someone wants something fun, you can do Trouble with Tribbles. Those sorts of things. I think there's so many ways to bring people into Star Trek that I think probably are less commitment. Start, when the actors still had wedgies from their costumes, work our way forward, and let's get Picard was finally allowed to be Picard.
I like it. Cool. Well, on that note, ladies, thank you for joining me. Viewers, thank you for watching. Comment with who you think we should have picked if you disagree, or who you think we should do next time. And make sure you come and join us for the Whatcast next weekend, where I'll be doing some Wheel of Time shipping. And then the 5th of September, come and join me and The Way of the Leaf and Treehouse Art and Twatcast as we host Team Jordan for a round of Watchnary. And I normally sign off with a Wheel of Time sign off, but I might get there with this one. Sign off with live long and prosper, folks.